Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about things that happened on Raw, September 9th, 2024. And the gameplay for today is some more Saints Row 4. So, some of the things that I like to talk about was, well, first of all, this did not happen on Raw, but it's about Raw, and I wanted to go ahead and tell you guys that started on October 7th, 2024 through the end of 2024, Raw will be only 2 hours. So like after Bad Blood's on October 5th, so after Bad Blood, that Raw is going to be only 2 hours. It's going to be from 8 to 10 and until I guess December, the last Raw in December, and then I'm guessing when they get to January and they get to Netflix, they're gonna go back to 3 hours again. So now you know. I don't know how this is gonna work because time management wise, sometimes even like 3 hours ain't enough. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but we'll see. So things that happened on Raw. So they were in Canada, Calgary, Canada. So one of the things that happened was Bret the Hitman Hart showed up. And he was talking to Joe and Joe Tessitore, or I think that's his name, and Wade Barrett, the announcers, and then Gunther came out. And Gunther was like, you're a hero to the Canadians and everything like that. And it's like he respected him and everything else, but that he was not as good as he was, and that Bret the Hitman Hart was his second favorite wrestler. The first wrestler being Bill Goldberg. Now, if you know the story between Bret the Hitman Hart and Bill Goldberg, then right? They're not very fond of each other and everything else. I thought it was funny. I laughed. I chuckled. I thought it was funny. I was like, man, he did not just say that. I'm like, damn, Gunther is an asshole, right? And then Sami Zayn comes out and he basically just just says, he is a Canadian hero. He's a hero to everybody else. He's a hero to me. And basically called out Gunther again for the title. And Gunther's like, nope, you're not on my level. Bret Hart's not on my level. The answer is no. Then Bret Hart called Gunther a coward. And Gunther left the ring, and then Bret Hart called him a coward. And then Gunther turned around and took off his jacket like he was gonna go beat him up. And then Sami Zayn went out of the ring, and they faced each other. And then at one point they started fighting and everything else. And then Gunther ends up leaving the arena and leaving and going up the ramp. And then Sami Zayn and Bret Hart ended up, hugging it out and this, stuff like that. And that was the end of that scene. So I don't know if we're going to actually see something at Bad Blood. I'm guessing, Bad Blood is in a month. So, we still have time, but I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm pretty sure that match is going to happen soon enough. But anyways, well, seeing as we're talking about Canadians, let's talk about the match between I think it's Pure Collection Fusion versus Lyra Valkyria and Selena Vega and a special guest. You will never guess who the guest is. You will never guess who the guest is. You will not guess. I mean, I know we're in Canada, and I know they're I just talked about Bret Hart, but you would never guess who. No, you wouldn't guess. No. I'll tell you. It was Natalya. Yay! I bet you didn't know. I bet you were like, gee, I wonder who the guest was. Yeah. Spoiler alert, it was Natalya. Natalya, and then they won. So, I guess, yay. Anyways. Another thing that happened on Raw was Finn Balor called out Damian Priest and pretty much challenged him for a match at Bad Blood. We also learned that Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley will be also fighting at Bad Blood for the title. I will go back to that in a bit, but as far as Damian Priest and Finn Balor are finally getting that match. So far it's just a regular match. They did the Judgment Day end up ambushing Damian Priest, and then Rhea Ripley, who is injured, not really injured, kayfabe injured, but injured, and they got hurt, and then Liv Morgan basically beat her with the crutch, and it ended up with Jey Uso coming to save the day with the chair and everything else. So that's how that ended. So we'll see. So far we have 2 matches so far for Bad Blood. Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, and Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the World Heavyweight title. I would like to talk about Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. So there's this rumor going around that Raquel Rodriguez might come back soon, and a lot of people are like saying that she might join Judgment Day. I don't see why she would, but they're saying that she might join Judgment Day to save her, like to save Liv from getting rid of the title. Which, I mean, look, I can see a match where they're like, so far the match that Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan have, there is no stipulation. It's just a straight up match. I can see maybe the stipulation is no Judgment Day allowed, and have Raquel come out and save Liv from, Rhea from getting the title. I can see that because, Rhea and Raquel do have like history and stuff like that. But it's kind of like, why do we need to continue this? And then Rhea will have to fight both Liv and Raquel. It's like kind of stupid and ridiculous. Like I said, I don't think this needs to go any further than Bad Blood. I mean, if you want to, I guess you could stretch it out to Survivor Series, but it's like, why? I don't understand it. I don't get it. Like, I mean, I could see it happening, but I mean, honestly, I hope it doesn't happen, because I feel like the whole thing is kind of like, I mean, it's unnecessary. Like, I think it's unnecessary. I think that they should end it at that. But now, as far as Damian Priest and Finn go, I mean, I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to that pay-per-view. But honestly, because that could probably end at Survivor Series, that could probably end even at WrestleMania if you book it right. But as far as like Liv and like the Liv revenge tour, I'm like, she already got the revenge. She beat Rhea, okay. She got the boy, she got the family, she got the belt. What's left? What is left? There's nothing left. What's she gonna do? Get Damian Priest? That ain't gonna happen. She's gonna get Jay? That ain't gonna happen. It's like, okay, just let her get the title already. It's like, I don't know. But yeah, that's just some little tech thing. I probably will repeat this later on in a month when we do the prediction show. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that. Another thing that I would like to talk about was the match between the Wyatt Six versus American Made. Okay, let me just say something real quick. Whenever I hear about American Made, I just keep thinking about that one. Was it a tag team or something? And they had that theme song, American Males, American Males, American Males. I'm just like, yeah, I okay. That's all I keep thinking of. Anyways, so they had a street fight. I thought that Uncle Howdy was going to be in this match, but he wasn't. Uncle Howdy was sitting in the rocking chair, just watching the match, and you had Cross, Gacy, Loomis, and Rowan versus Gable, Niles, and the Creed brothers. And it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Did great. Like I said, right? The Wyatt Six are just like regular like wrestlers. There's nothing special. There's no power. There's nothing just like regular. Like, you can actually kick their ass if you want to. You know, if you can find a way to beat the shit out of them, you could probably beat the shit out of them. You know, they're not invincible. You know what I mean? So I mean, like I said, I love that. I'm gonna just go ahead and tell you how it ended. So it ended with, there was a table set up in the corner. Chad Gable ended up angle slamming Gacy from the top rope into the table. It actually looks like Gacy was over the table and Chad was like hit the table. Like, it didn't look like, that's what it looked like to me. Like, I think Chad Gable took more of that table than Gacy did, but alright. And then, you know, we go through the pin, and then Gacy kicks out, and then Chad turns it into the ankle lock, or maybe I should call it the Gable lock, but turn it into the ankle lock. And while he was doing that, Ivy Niles was like beating him up with a kendo stick. And here comes Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross comes in and basically throws out Ivy Niles, and then gives a beautiful German suplex to Chad Gable, right? And then goes outside the ring and then does like a neck breaker on the chairs to Ivy Niles, so she's out. She ain't coming back. And like, this is by the time this, and then Uncle Howley decides to show up and goes into the ring, and I think he does assist Abigail to was it Chad Gable? I think it was Chad Gable. And then Loomis did his finisher move from the top rope and gets the pin, and then they win. The White Six win. It was a good match. I don't know what this means for the American Made, but I think that the White Six should move on to another wrong, I guess. I think they're done. I feel like they're done with the American Made with Chad Gable. And I mean, like, I think they should go on to Judgment Day, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna go on to somebody else. I mean, like, I don't know if it's just sticking to people on Raw. I don't know if they're gonna go to SmackDown. I don't know if they're going to NXT. I don't know where the right's gonna go to fix the wrongs, but they definitely should move on from American Made. And American Made, Chad Gable especially, needs to start winning some matches if they're gonna be a dominant faction. But it was a good match. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, congratulations, White Six. Another thing that happened on Raw that I would like to talk about is Drew McIntyre. As you know, Drew McIntyre pretty much beat the crap out of CM Punk last Monday, broke his bracelet. So he was talking about that, and then he was talking about Wade Barrett, because Wade Barrett tried to stop him from, I guess, murdering CM Punk, and was like, you know, why did you try to stop me from doing that? You've been my friend, you've been on my side, but all of a sudden you want to stop me and everything else. And he went up to like Wade Barrett and said that you do it again, I'm gonna have to do something about it. And Wade Barrett like got up from the announce table and said something. We don't know what he said because he wasn't on a mic or anything. And Adam Pearce comes out and was like, enough already, I'm tired of all this, blah 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 blah, I need you to get in the ring. It's like Adam Pearce is like, you're about to fight your friend, the reasonable one, the one that's trying to, like, you know, be reasonable with you. You're gonna fight your friend. And he's like, doesn't matter, get in the ring, I have something to tell you. And Drew McIntyre's like, I'm talking to my friend. He's like, Adam, you're not my friend, you're just a suit and everything else. He's like, yeah, whatever, just get in the ring, I have something to tell you. And basically said that CM Punk is not done with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre says, I think he is done, right? He's like, well, no, he's not done. And it ends at that blood, right? And it goes, this feud ends at Black Blood, and it's gonna end basically in a Hell in a Cell match. Like I said, I mean, that's the only stipulation right now. I don't know if there's gonna be like a winner take all type of, or winner loser leaves type of thing. But right now, there is a Hell in a Cell match between CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. As Adam Pearce is leaving, you can see like a look of like what the hell on Drew McIntyre's face. I don't know if it's happy. I don't know if it was a happy look or a mad look or what kind of look or satisfied. I have no idea. But it's gonna have a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. So far we've had like I think 3 matches booked so far. We have women's championship match, Damian and Finn and Drew and Punk. So far it looks like even with those 3 matches, looks like a good card so far. Can't wait to see Bad Blood. But yeah, that's how that ended. So the last thing that I would like to talk about was the fatal 4-way match between Jey Uso, Pete Dunne, Ilya Dragunov, and Braun Strowman, which was a very good match. I really enjoyed this match. Really good close calls, very good moves and everything else. But let's go ahead and get to the juicy part of the match. So obviously for a 4-way, no disqualifications. You had Braun Strowman and Pete Dunne outside the ring, and basically Braun Strowman was beating the crap out of Pete Dunne, and he cleared the announce table, and I guess he was about to power slam him onto the table. And he does this big rah or whatever, and everything else. Person raises his hands up, and he turns around, and a tsunami out of nowhere. Bronson Reed comes out and just tsunamis him right onto the table. It was beautiful. Like it didn't see it coming. I mean, how did this big man just all of a sudden just appear out of nowhere? I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'm sorry, but that camera angle work is beautiful, right? I'm pretty sure like the audience saw it, but like at the home, the camera work, mwah. Oh my god, it was great. It was great. So there ended up being a triple threat match because Braun Strowman was pretty much out for the rest of the match, and basically it just ended up like I think Jey speared Ilya Dragunov, and then Pete Dunne pulled out Jey Uso out the ring and tried to get the pin, and then Dragunov kicked out, and then Dragunov did his was it the H-bomb, I think, and then Jey Uso super kicked him, Dragunov, in the face while he was down, and then got the Uso splash on Pete Dunne and got the 1, 2, 3. So it will be Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker for the IC title. I thought it was supposed to be at Bad Blood, but I don't know when this match is going to be. They should just put on Bad Blood. I think they should just put it on Bad Blood. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm like confused because some say that it is on there, some say it's not. I don't know for sure, but I think it should be on there. I think that match should be on there, and that would just make it even better. You know what I'm saying? That would make that better. Do I think that Jey Uso is gonna win? No. Unfortunately not. No. I want him to win. I really do. I want him to get a singles title before he goes back with his brother. That would be great. It would be fantastic. Like I said, doesn't even have to be a long time. You could even have it for like win the belt at like Bad Blood and then lose it at like Crown Jewel or something like that in a month. I don't need him to be champion for like ever. Okay? Maybe a month is good, right? Month or 2 months, you can lose it at Survivor Series. I know we're supposed to have this Civil War, but are we going to have the Civil War at War Games? I mean, because we're in September. War Games is in November. We have to set the story, right? We have to set the table. We have to set the story, and the story hasn't been set yet. I mean, maybe it gets set on Friday, because maybe at SmackDown, because SmackDown is going to be appearing on on the US network now, so maybe Roman Reigns will come back, and maybe he'll bring back Jimmy or something. I mean, I know I'm talking about other things now, but I I don't know. We need to set up. I don't want the thing to happen where it's like, oh, these two people are gonna fight, and there's no story behind it. Kind of like, that whole WrestleMania thing with Jay versus Jimmy. It's like, yeah, we get it, but there should have been a story or something behind there. You know what I mean? But anyways, congratulations to Jey Uso. That is all for today. Sorry this video was so long, but that's what happens when you have more than one thing to talk about. Anyways, I have a surprise for you Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So make sure that you stay tuned to this channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.